Hi lads and lassies, welcome back to the workshop here at Outlaw Guitars with me, Rob, and welcome to the Great Guitar Build Off 2022. Well, that was a waste of time yesterday. Went in looking for rabbit bits and that, or even different bearings that I could put on, and complete waste of time. I could get router bits, flush trim bits, stuff like that. Can't get rabbit bits anywhere. So what am I going to do now? Right, well, the bit I'm going to use, that's only 2mm. So what I'll do after that is get a straight edge, sanding paper, and sand it. Do it the hard way. Why no? I haven't done anything easy in this build yet so far, so I might as well keep the theme going, you know. So what we'll do today is I'll scrape that inlay, get it done, because like when I come back I put my super glue on last night, built it up a couple of layers so it was above being flat, so there was no indentations and all like that. So we'll scrape that back today, we'll get that sanded, then we'll rub at the fretboard, and then I'll just get sanding. That's basically what we'll be doing today. Let's start scraping this just now. Then, as I say, when I scrape it back to flat, then we'll get the sandpaper in, and hopefully it's got to look alright once it's done. I hope it doesn't get fucked up. Right, that's now flat and level, so I'll just get the sandpaper, the sander into it. Well, that worked out okay. That looks alright. Just go up a higher grit now. That looks alright. Nice wee sheen on it so far. Looks okay, doesn't it? And got a nice wee shine on it just now. I think I done no bad for a first attempt. Another part done just now. Now to go on with the routing. I'm not looking forward to this. But what I'll do is put these together and I'll stick them down on the table. I'll stick that down on the table. Then that way I've got an even surface to work on, so you don't tip the router in any way. Keep it flat, keep it straight, and we're alright. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'll go and get this set up, get it taped in and all that, and I'll see you in a bit. So when I set this up yesterday, I haven't moved it. And if you remember, I cut a wee bit out to see what it would be like on this. And it was fine. So that'll still be fine, theoretically, because that's the same height as that, same tape, same everything, so it should just run along those rails. Well, we'll still get that very, very small layer of rosewood, so we know that the white veneer is perfectly fine. Nothing's been touched. So I'll turn it round, same again, and then we get to do a lot of sanding. Right, well, that's the rebate set in. Now, as I said, if you were just doing normal binding, it'd be fine. That's all you need. But I'm not doing normal binding. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to have to get my calipers, mark an extra mil, draw a line, and then sand it down to just about that line. And then by the time you put the veneers on, and then the oak on as well, the oak will be like a decent thickness. So a lot of sanding, like I said, and I'm not going to film all that because you know what sanding's all about. I'm going to set it up on the vise, get the straight edge, and just sand and sand and sand and sand. And that's even before we get to the finish, before we get to the radiusing, before we get to anything. Loads and loads of sanding. Woohoo! Right, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, this is going to take a wee bit of doing, like, you know. It's just got to be done in the long and arduous way. So, you can see what I'm doing. I'm butting this hard up against it, where the rebate get cut it. And I'm just going to have to do a lot of hand sanding. Right, we're at depth, so that'll go in like that, and that'll go in like that, and that's what that'll look like, ish, once it's been sized and glued in and everything. And that'll be the binding. One side done, another side to go, and then we're ready for gluing it up. Back to it again. I'll tell you one thing, put your fingers down there to try and keep it as level as possible, but when you're going back for it, fair burns the tips of your fingers. Right, we are there. Now I need to get the veneers cut, and I'll be back in a wee bit. Right, that one's alright. Now, I'm wondering what's the best way to do this, to make up these. I don't want to put wood glue on, then put the white on, put wood glue on, put the blue on, put wood glue on, and then put the oak on, and then bind it, because there's too much chance of maybe slipping or slipping up or slipping down or something. So I think I'm going to try and see what it's like with super glue. Right, so I'll super glue the blue to the oak, then I'll super glue the white to the blue, and we'll see what it's like. And if that's alright, I'll do that on these both, and then I'll use the wood glue. Don't need to use wood glue, I can use super glue, but then I'll use the wood glue on the binding onto the fretboard in the neck. So I think I'll give this a try just to see what it's like, because you've got a waiting time with the wood glue for all these to dry, and if I don't have to wait that long because I can use super glue, I'll use the super glue, and that way I can still get it put on the day. I don't know how feasible that's going to be. By the time you get up to the end of the oak, this bit here will probably be dry. I don't know, man. That works, but like I said, if I put it on there and work all the way up to here, is it still got to be wet? Let's see. Well, it is possible, but it's fucking stinking, and you need a lot of glue. I don't know, might just do the wood glue, bit at a time. I'll leave that for a wee while to dry, then I'll do the same with the white, then I'll probably leave it overnight just to cure, and then we'll put it on the fretboard tomorrow. I think that'll be the best way to do it. Half an hour later, let's see what it's like and see if we can proceed. So we'll do the same again, so let's get this done quickly. Another glue up done, just about forgot. I need to make a bit for there. There we go. That's this bit made, and I'll probably just super glue that to that. Once they're dry, they're ready to get glued on. That's ready to get glued on. Just needs a slight tidy up with the sandpaper. Right, we're ready to get these glued on. And I might take that off. I'll cut this bit off, but then do the rest in the sander. Okay,